What's up, everybody? Welcome back and happy Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor, and Atlas. They're linked for you in the description to this video as usual, so go ahead and check them out there. So we've got North Plains storms going on today. A lot of the big hail is going to be centered over the Dakotas, maybe into Nebraska, Rapid City. Yes, you guys are probably going to see the most likely chances for hail into today. But again, it could push as far east as Nebraska. So watching into that. We've also got a tornado and a wind threat for you guys for this afternoon through tonight with those storms. And then we're getting into tomorrow's risk when that whole system pushes into the Mississippi Valley. Won't say the name of our favorite city in Missouri, but you guys do have a risk to see some hail into tomorrow with those storms. So all of that coming up here in a second, but first, check us out at the All-Star Stadium Tour, guys. This next one's going to be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on July 26th, and Derek is the keynote speaker at that. So if you want to see Derek doing his thing, talking about weather, come out to New Orleans, or nope, not New Orleans, Baton Rouge on the 26th, and come say hello to the Hail Trace crew. Now getting into what's going on right now. We do have a little storm system that's tracking into the lower Mississippi Valley right now. Not expected to do a ton. There could potentially be some popcorn storms along the Gulf today. It's going to be very few and far between in terms of severe weather for this area, but there should be some showers flickering on and off throughout the afternoon. In terms of bulk severe activity, it's really going to be coming from the northern plains here, with storms already moving off to the east, and then once we get that clearing behind it here through Montana, through parts of Wyoming, through parts of South Dakota, it's already clearing out for us, getting that heat ready, getting that atmosphere back in, ready to produce some severe, thunderstorms as this tracks off to the east into the next few hours. So looking at temperatures, we're still sitting in the 80s and 90s for most of the nation, staying pretty hot, staying pretty humid. The only chance at relief for that is going to be that low pressure system that's up in Canada right now, and that's what's helping drive those storms through the North Plains and through New England for the past few days. But really the rest of us are staying hot and dry, and just any remnants of these systems that can track far enough down south, like this one here, is pushing down to the south. Don't even talk about tomorrow. You guys from KC make me laugh. We'll see what happens, all right? Stay tuned and come back tomorrow and we'll talk about it then. But, you know, you never know. There seems to be like a little bubble around Kansas City. And so, you know, you guys have kind of been missing a lot of the hail risks. But we'll talk about it. There's always a chance. So gotta bring up your weather risks. You know, it's what, don't shoot the messenger. So anyway, into dew points. So it's real hot, real muggy across a lot of the North Plains, sitting in the mid-60s right now. So again, it's feeling pretty sticky outside. And if you're in Rapid City, if you're in, you know, the Glasgow, Billings area of Montana, seeing those dew points start to elevate, seeing those temperatures start to creep up. And with that, you know, those storm chances are moving in. So in terms of instability, all right, we've got a little pocket of it in southeastern or southwestern South Dakota by around 5 p.m. Central, working its way up into parts of Montana. So enough lift to get us some hail. Now the key is really that we've got that forcing. We've got those high dew points. We've got enough in the atmosphere to get us some large hail. So that's what we get on our significant hail model here. Really watching this corridor of South Dakota for today around 5 p.m. Storms should be developing through where that significant hail model is placing those large hail values. And then again, down through the Rapid City, Belle Fourche area, we could potentially see some pretty large hail into today through tonight. So here's what that's going to look like on radar, all right? So a few isolated cells developing by around 5 p.m. Those could be hailers as they track off to the east into Rapid City, getting pretty nasty looking at that on radar. And we've had pretty consistent runs through the Rapid City area along I-90 here. So again, potential to see some large hail with these storms as well as potential rotating storms. So we will have a tornado risk associated with that. And then these up on the North-South Dakota border here could be doing the same as they move off to the east. Now, once things track through the Sioux Falls area into Omaha, Des Moines, we could potentially see more of a wind risk and less of a hail threat, but nonetheless, looking at some pretty nasty hail potential through that corridor while things stay isolated. Then, not a whole lot happening during the day for the Ohio Valley. Maybe a flicker of storms coming off of Michigan, a couple in Chicago here and there, but really the bulk of activity should pick up into the overnight hours as that system tracks off to the east, and then we get more storm coverage through that region. So should stay on the pretty low end of severe through there, maybe some gusts up to 60, maybe a quarter or two. But, you know, again, the bulk of our system is going to be this guy that starts up in the Dakotas. So for your hail forecast for today, no surprise there. We got our large hail risk centered in western South Dakota for today, with some initiation in southeastern Montana, and then quarters happening all the way into the Ohio Valley. So if you guys are in Rapid City, that has the best chance of seeing large hail today. Again, it's been pretty consistent, and you guys got the environmental conditions to produce that big hail. So high-end chance of seeing at least quarters into today, and some of those hailstones could be some big guys. Tracking down southeastward into Valentine, into Omaha, into Sioux Falls, still got a moderate chance of seeing severe hail. So again, anything greater than 1 inch or quarter in size. And then, you know, hail sizes are going to taper off as it starts to band up and track down to the southeast, but, you know, you still got a potential to see some large hail there with any storms that can stay isolated. Moderate for Glasgow, low end for Billings as things get started, and then low end for you guys off in the Ohio Valley as things, you know, kind of track off to the east and get a little messier. Again, very low end chance for you guys in the Ohio Valley. Things should be mostly centered over the North Plains. So if you guys are in Rapid City, storm timeline for you right now should be moving in by around 5 p.m. with the worst storms moving out by around 9 p.m. Again, you could see some pretty large hail tonight. So you got a good chance of seeing at least quarters, and then you still got that chance of seeing anything giant up to baseballs as those supercells track through. So if you're in Rapid City, if you're in western South Dakota or in any of those risk areas for hail, stay tuned, and there's also a wind and tornado threat to talk to you guys about. So for wind, could potentially see some storms. Again, they're going to pop up in Montana here, and then once they start to band up, we have a better and better chance of seeing high winds. So really, once we get past Valentine into Omaha, into Des Moines, could potentially see that band producing 60-mile-an-hour gusts or larger. And then with any storms that are really stronger through Rapid City and Valentine, you got that chance for some high winds there. And then again, a low-end chance for you guys in the Ohio Valley, but still a non-zero chance to see some 60s with those remnants of storms that move through. Then tornadoes, that's going to stay centered on Nebraska and the Dakotas here today, again with the strongest storms that are moving through. Rapid City and Omaha, you guys are the cities at risk. Valentine, you're in it as well, and parts of western or eastern Montana there have a chance to see a couple of scattered rotating storms. Again, it's going to be mostly a hail threat for today. Got some winds in there as well. Tornadoes, it's a non-zero chance, but there's still a chance to see that. So be on the lookout if you're in any of those areas. Then tomorrow, the Forbidden City, we're talking about it here, all right? So we've got these storms starting up in Omaha. Again, we're going to have the remnants of today's system moving into the Ohio Valley. We got a couple of storms starting up again by around noon. Now, as things track to the southeast, we've got a chance to see development just in far eastern Kansas, all right? So I think Topeka could potentially, with the current setup, Topeka could be at the best chance of seeing large hail with these isolated cells, because as they track south, see how they cluster up pretty quickly? So you get that wind chance with those. So watching Topeka specifically, if things stay isolated far enough to the east, you know what could get hit. And then down to the south, we got that wind chance as well. Then also, kind of like today's very scattered Ohio Valley risk, we got a scattered New England risk for tomorrow. So by 5 p.m. Eastern time, got those isolated cells tracking through, and a couple of those could produce some gusty winds here or there, but it's going to be very scattered as usual as that moves through. Could get a lot of rain. I know you guys have been dealing with that lately, so that's noteworthy for you. Now into your hail forecast. just a little pocket where that large hail is possible for tomorrow. And again, it could shift east or west. We're watching it, so it's important that you guys come back. If you're in that region, come back tomorrow and we'll update you guys on what's going on. But quarters to $50 possible with any storms that develop in this area from Minneapolis down to St. Louis, eastward into Indy. But where we're seeing those isolated cells form in that complex, tracking down to the southeast towards Joplin, that's where we could potentially see the largest hail form. So based on how things are setting up right now, Topeka, you guys could potentially see 2.5 inches with those initial storms developing, and then again, size tapering off as it tracks down to the southeast. You guys are in it as well, and we'll come back tomorrow with those updates on hail. Now into wind, it's going to be pretty much that whole area plus New England that could see some severe winds into tomorrow. So if you guys are from Minneapolis all the way to Joplin, eastward into the Ohio Valley, you got a chance, and KC as well as St. Louis could potentially see some higher gusts from those complexes that are expected to track over you right now. Then into New England, if you guys are in Portland, Albany, Binghamton, Rochester, all the way down into Ohio, could potentially see a very scattered high wind gust or two with tomorrow's storms. So that's what we got for you guys today. If you guys are in the upper plains today, stay tuned to your weather, turn on those alerts, follow us for updates. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads. We're at Hail Trace on everything, so we're easy to find for you guys. And again, come back tomorrow if you guys are in the Mississippi Valley, and we'll talk to you guys more about what we're expecting. But if you guys want to get in contact with us, you can go ahead and scan that QR code up above me or click the link in the description to this video to get access to our products. We map every single severe storm across the nation live as it's happening, whether it's wind, hail, tornadoes, hurricanes. We are on it. So shout out to our mapping team for that. If you guys want access to those products, that's the way to get it, is that QR code or the link in our description. If you already have it, or if you want to know more about Hail Trace and what we do, you can give us a call at 855-334-4245. Email us at info@hailtrace.com or check out hailtrace.com for more details. And we'll be back as always tomorrow at noon with more information about your weather risks. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.